Carnival Radio and Enjoyment Unlimited.
All the hits, one station.
You're listening to Carnival Radio.
Good evening. This is news around the world from Carnival Radio. I am Larry Badmos. To begin the news from Europe, an elderly woman has died and another person is missing after a massive wildfire swept up part of South France, destroying homes and forcing thousands to flee. The woman died in her home. 7 firefighters have also been treated for smoke inhalation and 1 person is still missing. Authorities said 2 people were in hospital, one of whom is in a critical condition. The blaze broke out on Tuesday near the village of Lazaribut in the Aldo region and has already burned more than 13,000 hectares, 50 meters square, area larger than Paris, making it largest wildfire in France this year. More than 1,800 firefighters supported by 500 vehicles were deployed to the area.
Music station.
This is Carnival Radio.
All the hits.
Moving forward to Asia, the body of a man missing for 28 years has been found in a mountain glacier in Pakistan remote and mountainous caving region. A shepherd stumbled upon the body, which was remarkably well preserved with the clothing intact in so-called Lady Valley in the country's east. Along with the body was an ID card with the name Nasreddin. Police were able to trace it to a man who disappeared in the area in June 1997 after falling into a glacier crack during a snowstorm. The region has been decreased snowfall in recent years, exposing glaciers to direct sunlight, making them melt faster. Experts said the body's discoveries show how changing climate has accelerated glacier melt. In North America, the Kremlin has issued a vague statement following talks between U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff and Russia Vladimir Putin days before Donald Trump's deadline to agree to a ceasefire in Ukraine. Foreign policy head Yuri Ushakov said the two sides had exchanged signals as part of constructive talks in Moscow. He also said Russia and the U.S. had discussed the possibility of strategic cooperation but refused to share more until Witkoff had briefed the U.S. president. The U.S. envoy boarded a flight to the U.S. on Wednesday afternoon, according to Russian media. The talks appeared cardinal despite Trump's mounting irritation with the lack of progress in negotiation between Moscow and Kyiv. In Australia, the Great Barrier Reef has suffered its most widespread coral bleaching on record, according to a new Australian government report, as ocean temperatures soared in 2024. The Australian Institute of Marine Science said on Wednesday that it survived the out of the reef between August 2024 and May 2025 and found the most sparty extensive bleaching since record began in 1986, which was predominantly driven by climate change induced heat stress. Scientists also found that coral cover declined by almost one third, down to just 26.9% in the southmost third of the reef, as the southern reef experienced their highest recorded level of heat stress. Moving to South America, one of the grounds of a former naval academy in Buenos Aires neighborhood, a Paraguay's caving PA-51 site parked on a concrete walkway. It appears to be an ordinary plane, but between 1976 and 1983, it was used as an instrument for murder by Argentina's military dictatorship. Up to 30,000 people are believed to have been disappeared or murdered. Anyone deemed to be an enemy of the state could be ordered abroad, this given to take a death flight to be flown out there over the Atlantic Ocean and pushed out at 10,000 feet. For decades, the planes used to commit those murders are thought to still exist, but never been found. But an Argentine journalist, Marian Lawin, tracked an aircraft down and decoded its flight logs, revealing it around trips out to middle of the ocean. Lawin used the lodge to land the fate of 12 women, including 2 Francis nuns, who had been disappeared by the state in December 1977. She discovered they had been killed on one of the Delta flights. In Africa, a helicopter crash has killed 8 people, including the nation's defense and environment minister, according to Ghana's government. Defense Minister Edward Omens Bowman and the Environment Minister Ibrahim Murtala Mohammed were among the victims of the crash in the South Ashanti region of the country, said Julius Deborah, Chief of Staff to President John Mahama on Wednesday. As also among the victims were Alhaji Mohammed Muniru Limuna, Deputy National Secretary Coordinator and former Minister of Agriculture, and Samuel Spong, Vice Chairman of Hamas National Democratic Congress (NDC) party. The Ghanaian Air Force had reported earlier on Wednesday that a military helicopter had disappeared from radar shortly after taking off from Accra at around 9 a.m. local time, bound for Obausi, northwest of the capital. Deborah announced that flag would be flown at half-mast. The presidency said the president said that Mahama had suspended all his official activities for the day. And with that, we've come to the end of the news around the world this evening. I am Oluwadami Larry Badmos. Keep listening to Carnival Radio. You can download the Carnival Media app on Google Play Store and the iOS App Store. My name remains Oluwadami Larry Badmos. Good evening. Enjoy the rest of your day.